Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. It is ho 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 season, presents for the animals. So just got a phone call to go pick up a $20 load of gourds and pumpkins, and all the animals you can see are surrounding me. They're ready for me to start tossing them on the ground. It's going to be a bit windy, so nothing I can do about that. I don't have those fuzzy mics and everything like that. Caesar's over here doing his camel doula, pushing that organ out, trying to tell Cleo to have a baby, but we know how that goes. No baby camels because he's too small compared to how big she is. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave the camera rolling. I'm going to start tossing some pumpkins. Got my gloves because some of them are a bit ripe, and the animals are going to have a good time. So enjoy your time here on today's Homesteader with the animals. Let's see how I can do this. Hold on, guys. I'm coming. I'm coming. I gotta check this phone first, guys. Let's see. Make sure you guys can see the animals. Jingle, jangle, dogs. Afternoon, Chris. How are you? The farm's doing good. Just got out here. These pumpkins are gonna go over to the pig pen for the big pigs, and you can see there's plenty of pumpkins here for the rest of the animals. So I threw them all the way out, all the way around. So everybody's out here. They're doing good. The donkeys are a little skittish coming in. They're coming in a little bit. And you can see like the little piglets that get out that are in here. But everybody loves their pumpkins, especially the goats. Chowing down, chowing down. What do you think, Papa C's? No chasing the horse. Caesar! Hey! He's feeling frisky today. That's what happens during rut season. You gotta be more aware of your surroundings around the animals because you never know what they're gonna do. Cleopatra, on the other hand, during rut season, she calms down. And he just gets grumpy every once in a while. He likes to chase the horses. But there's plenty of pumpkins. There all get some. And then we got jingle jangle dogs. I got bells for the dogs. I'm gonna show that in another video on where I got the bells, what I did for the bells. That way I know where the dogs are at, because they blend in now out here. Tan bodies, brown leaves. What do you think, old Red? What are you grumpy about? No, I've only had goats. I never got into sheep because I know sheep has to have different diets than rest of animals. I did want the four-horned Jacob sheep, I believe they were, because they're just cool looking, that they have the four horns coming out their head. But no, I've stuck with goats. And then I used to have Scottish Highlanders, but I sold all of them back in February. I had a lady come in to buy a baby, and she made an offer for all of them that I couldn't refuse. So I went ahead and sold all my Scottish Highlanders. And then, I don't know how long you've been following, but I had Rex, my baby kangaroo. And when I moved out here, he got bit by a poisonous snake, and I ended up losing him. And then I've sold a lot of goats. I mean, you can tell, I still have a lot of goats. Jackson's over here. He's one of the originals, but Baby Boy and Tiny Dude, they're the originals, and then their brother's the one that got killed by the mountain lion out in Colorado. They were my very first goats in 2016. So if you ever see any of the old videos, yes, goats eat pretty much everything. They're not as keen on grass as sheep are. They like more brushy stuff. You can see like around the trees, all the bark and everything. Them and the camels, they love to just strip all the bark off the trees, and they end up killing the trees. So as I get more and more land open, I'm going to do different paddocks, and I'm planning to have about 12 of them to do rotational grazing. So there'd be in one area for a month, then next area for a month. So it's a year before they come back in. So any damage they do to trees, the trees have a year to re-heal themselves versus die like they're doing here. What, you want to be on camera? You want to be on camera giving me lovin's? Yeah, my big old Caesar mane. Oh, I just got camel drool on me, man. I got camel drool on me. Oh, you. Yep, this is camel life for you. It's always Wednesday. Always hump day, right, Caesar? Yeah, you're not eating my hat. You're not eating my hat. Say, we just love it. Yep. Lovey-dovey-dovey. Mm-hmm. You smiling for a camera? You looking prettyful? Mr. Handsome Caesar man? Yeah. He's crazy, man. He's crazy, man. He's crazy, man. Come on, Cleo, what are you doing back there? You hiding out? Yeah. I know. You like camera time, just like Max. Max likes camera time. Mm-hmm. What do you think? You silly man. You silly fool. You silly fool. Yep. Say big old hugs. Big old love bug. Yep, that's my camel. Mm-hmm. See, we got a good life here. We get pumpkins. We get pine boughs. We get sweet feed. We get everything. Cleopatra back here. She's a dromedary Bactrian hybrid. She was, I believe, 6 when I got her, and I got her in 2019. So that should put her at about 9, maybe 10. And camels live to about 50. And then Caesar was a young guy when I got him. He was only, I think, 3 or 4, and I got him, let's say, about 6 or 7 months after I got Cleopatra. Oh, she's sleepy. Big old sleepy camel. Big old yawn. So they've got a long way to go. I'm going to have these guys for a long time, as long as nothing happens, because for a lot of you out there know, when you're homesteading, you never know what's going to happen. And look, now the peacocks know. Where do they go? Hey, Chubbs! Chubbers! Just 9. Chubbs! Just 9. He saw the peacock fly in over the other fence. There's other peacocks back here. Yeah, see, you're not supposed to fly in right over his head, peacock. He thought you were coming to get a bird. Chubbs. Chubbs. Chubbers. Kind. Kind. Come here, Chubbs. It's okay. But back to the animals. Let's get the camera back around, because I know everybody wants animal time. So since I'm here at this perfect time. And then, like I said, I still have all these pumpkins. We'll go to the big pigs, because they don't get out the pen like the little pigs. So once I unload the rest of the pumpkins for the big pigs, then I'll go over here and back the truck up to the grain bin. I'll fill up the 5-gallon buckets and then get in their sweet feed. And then they have hay 24/7. So they always got food, they always got water. Hauled water yesterday. There's little Hershey, for those of you that were asking how Hershey's doing. He's growing. He's bigger than a bull over here, little Bullet, that I thought was a male for like 9 months until I realized it's a girl. So now I call her the Silver Bullet, since she's used to being called Bull. I don't really keep the cost down. It's a very expensive hobby. So I got this whole truckload of pumpkins for $20, and that's because I reached out to a small business called Friend Orchard here in Arkansas, and they had people in front of me, and I was willing to give money in order to get produce. You know, a lot of people go and say, you know, can I just have your produce? And there's a million people ahead of you, guaranteed. And a lot of people will say, oh no, I've got somebody that does that. But if you offer some money, you know, I was doing $1 a pumpkin, and now since these are all mushy and stuff, they just said $20 for this load. But this is the 3rd load that I got from them this year. So all those people that were getting all this produce prior, I'm now getting it because I was willing to pay for it. So that's one thing I do. I haven't reached out to a bunch of places, only that one place, because I don't have the time to drive all over and do all that. The sweet feed that goes in the grain bin, that's $1,400 a month for the 50/50 sweet feed. And then all the hay that gets dropped and delivered and everything, I'm paying $365 a load for 8 rounds. So that's $40 a round plus delivery. So in all, and then the cattle tub things down here that I have, the loose salts, the loose trace minerals, and the loose baking soda that I restock every month or every few weeks or whatever as well. And then of course I've got treats inside of the truck. I got the Starlight mints like the horses like and the donkeys like. So I end up spending right around $2,400-$2,500 a month on animal feed. So it's nothing cheap. And like I said, I don't go out on vacation. I don't have fancy clothes, fancy cars. I don't go out to clubs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Don't do any type of drugs. So every penny I got goes to this habit, which is homesteading. Not to mention, you know, how expensive 6-foot fence is at $425 for a 100-foot roll. So from this corner to that next post, that's 100 feet. And that don't include the T-post, that don't include the wire ties, that don't include all the $24 wood pressure treated post and rebar and all that wire tie to tie them together, and then another 100 feet down to the next one. So homesteading is not cheap. There's a lot of channels that make it seem like it's cheap. And that's why I don't have a big barn built. You know, I just made a little temporary shelter here, temporary shelter there, and then little cattle shelters, because that's all I can afford right now. It's more important to have the animals looking good. I mean, this is a male cow. That's Lubug, he's a bull, male cow. And Brutus. So they got big bellies on them. They're not pregnant. They're males. You know, this is Ghost. That's a buck goat, male goat. You know, I'd rather have my animals looking good, healthy, big fat bellies, good looking fur, and not needing to use chemicals and all that for worming and everything else. Right, Miracle? Yeah, you want to say hi to your people? You haven't said hi to your people for a while. Say hi to your people. Yeah, that's a good man. But, yeah, for those of you that think homesteading is cheap, it's not cheap. And you got to be willing to make sacrifices. And that's the one thing I'm trying to figure out now is to get moved over here. I could, once I clean the shed back out, I could move back into the shed. I buy from a feed store, which is a farm store, and I do buy in bulk. And out here, because I'm 25 miles away, it's a minimum of 3 ton that I have to buy for the grain bin. And I get free delivery on that. However, when I moved out here in 2020, I bought this, which is a 5-ton grain bin. I always say silo, and I keep getting corrected on it's a bin. So I'm trying to say bin, not silo. But I was getting 4.5 tons at a time for $1,400. Now I'm getting 3 tons for $1,400, thanks to inflation and prices going up on everything. So I'm getting less feed, so I'm buying feed more often, spending more money, and that's why, you know, 3 tons in this doesn't even get me to a month. So it's not just Max is over there chewing on a pumpkin. Max, are you a pumpkin dog? But you know, you might have said $1,400 for the sweet feed and then the hay price and then minerals and stuff, and you're like, how does he come up with $2,400 a month or $2,500 a month? That's because it's $1,400 to fill it the first part of the month, and then $1,400 to fill it again towards the end of the month. Now it's about a two of them will do about a month and a third or so. So I am getting a little bit farther with the 2 loads. It's not complete 2 loads, because then that would be $2,800 right there. So but yeah, if inflation keeps going up, if food prices keep going up, I will probably have to cut back more on something to be able to maintain the animals I have, because I really don't want to get rid of anybody, because they all live in harmony, and I really like everybody. Have you bred any animals to help fund the farm? Maybe a rare breed of chickens. Chickens are horrible. Out here, we have so many bald eagles, golden eagles, another type of eagle. We have hawks, vultures, all different types of things. So chickens go quick. I have the few roosters that are roaming around here. You have to have them completely encased in fencing, along with the raccoons, the possums, the bobcats that take out the chickens. And chickens are just too much work. I'm a fan of big animals. That's why I got camels. That's why I got cows and horses and donkeys and everything like that. I prefer big animals over small animals. The animals do breed. You know, like I said, this is a bull. Love Bug is a bull. Where's Old Red at? Old Red is somewhere around here. Oh, he's over here on front side Caesar. He's a bull. And then I've got female, 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 and then Big Mama, which she should be having her baby at some point. Now, Big Mama had Silver Bullet over here last year, and that baby is not related to any of the males here because I bought her pregnant, so she was bred to another bull from a different DNA strand. So I kept her. Now, if she has her next baby, then it's from one of my males, so then I'll be selling that cow. Same thing with Hershey. He's a different breed, so I kept Hershey. I was going to castrate him because I don't want him to breed back to Mama Silverton, wherever she went. She's over there up front. But I'll have to watch that. So my animals do breed. I do sell my goats. I actually have somebody that asked me if I had more goats for sale that have bought goats from me before. And I said not yet, because my goats don't giving babies till the end of December into March. So I do have some money coming in, but when I'm selling a baby goat for $100 and I sell 10 of them, that's $1,000, and that's the entire, bunch of goats for the year. And I pay $2,400 a month for the feed. So it doesn't make that big of a difference. A lot of people think, homesteading and livestock production is an asset, but it's really not. A lot of farmers and everything write things off as a loss, and they get the tax breaks and everything like that, where I'm not a business, so I'm not in it, as a business. This is, just my pets. I'm not doing the petting zoo. I'm not doing anything like that. I just enjoy coming out here, hanging out with the animals, doing their thing. And then the next thing that I'm not sure if I'm going to get back into it, but since I have electricity at the restaurant, is down here I found, I'll have to walk down here real quick, because I have my incubator, and you see the emus just going through the woods. But when I was down here putting brush on the fence line, they have started laying, or at least I found one egg, so I'll have to walk down and see if by chance there's more eggs. But if I do start getting eggs again, and I get enough. Now, I lost one of my females, 2 years ago when I was hatching out baby emus. So now I only have one female. So I don't have two of them giving me eggs. I only have one giving me eggs. So I don't know if she'll give me enough in order to warrant me starting up the incubator, because that eats up a lot of electricity costs. But if I do get some of those, I'll do that. But then again, when you're only making a couple $100 selling eggs or little babies, it's something, but it doesn't pay for my hobby. So we'll have to see down here if we got more down here or not. You've got that right. Farming ain't cheap. Let's see. Nope, just the one egg. So for those of you that haven't seen emu eggs, that's what an emu egg looks like. They're really pretty. So I don't know if that was just her start or if she's going to continue. But there's that one egg there. And I'm actually going to leave it uncovered a little bit so they come back and deal with it. But just having the one female, I probably won't get much out of her. But that is one thing I do want to expand. Once, like I said, I owner financed my ranch in Colorado, so I'm not going to get the bulk of my money from Colorado for 7 years. So in 7 years, everything's going to ramp up here. Because in 7 years, when I finally get the money from Colorado, I'll have the money to build a barn. I'll have the money to get everything set up properly. And then once I'm set up properly, then I'll start reaccumulating and doing things. So I do want to get a lot more emus, because emus are really hardy. They're fun to watch run around. It's near nothing to take care of them. You know, they're just awesome looking birds walking around, and they don't eat a whole bunch of food. So I am gonna, as I go forward, I will thin out some type of animals and get more of other animals. And then I'm not sure if I'll get kangaroos again. I said I wanted kangaroos again, but because I'm not going to do a 6-foot fence all the way around the entire property, just because I would be looking at like $400 and some $1,000 to do that. I just don't have that type of money. So I'm going to go to a 4-foot fence. So I might end up getting some wallabies just to have around. I'm not sure on that either. So we will see what happens in the future. But for now, everybody's, you can see, like the goats in the back by Stubbs, they're laid down, they're chewing their cud. They got their full, and there's still plenty of food around. So, yes, I got Gunner and Girl. I've had Gunner and Girl since I got them from a lady in Colorado. So, they're right here. Girl's the one that Caesar was chasing. Mama Silverton, you got orange on your face. You must be eating pumpkins. They taste good? She's got an orange muzzle. You got pumpkin face. Yeah, I got Gunner, I got Girl. They're the horses. And then I got Stubbs. He just went around the front, the Zorse. And then I got all the different donkeys around here. There's Princess Air, there's Pickles. I don't know where Baby's at. Got Lovebug right here. He's over here. He's wanting attention. Nestor's wanting attention. She's got orange muzzle. Everybody's just doing their thing. And we got Miracle. He wants to be on camera. Watch out, guys. There's Peaches. There's Peaches. There's Sweet Pea. There's Nene. There's Clarabelle and Caramel. And this is Zara. And we got Nestor. And Hershey. And there's Fagin. And there's Ghost. What do you think, Ghost? And Mr. Jackson. Mr. Olaf. Max, you want camera time? There, you got camera time. You got camera time. You jingle jangle dog. So I hope everybody enjoyed. You got some animal time. I'm going to get rest of the pumpkins unloaded to the... this one is Caesar the camel. He's the light one. He's a lot smaller because he's pure dromedary. This is Cleopatra, the dark one. She's a dromedary hybrid mix. But I'm going to... What animals is easier between goats, camels, cows, and pigs? Well, I would say the easiest animals, the emus, because the emus don't take much. I've had them in 4-foot fence. They don't damage fence. They don't eat a lot. They're not high maintenance. The camels, their push is fence over. For those of you that saw, I didn't do a video, but they got out when I first moved out here. I had a neighbor call me and say they were walking down the main road. They were 2 miles up the road. So I had to get a hot wire for across the fence. I don't have the hot wire going now because they got used to it. Pigs, pain in the butt. They were in a pen. These are the piglets. They squeezed underneath. The bigger pigs will bend the fencing up and everything like that. They eat a lot. Pigs eat a lot. That's why they're called pigs. I mean, look at that little guy go. What's up, Mr. Gunners? You want some lovin's? You want some lovin's? I don't have no cookies. Goats. Goats are pretty easy if you get secure fencing. You see a lot of videos, people don't have secure fencing. So the 6-foot no climb horse fence, that's kept everything in. And then I had fencing right here that I just took down, that big spool right there. That's the sheep and goat fence at Tractor Supply. It's a 4x4 square, and that keeps the goats in. I tried using the 16-foot cattle panels, like the pig pen that I have, and I had to double up the cattle panels because the goats stick their head through and then they get their head stuck. So if you have goats or you want goats, you want to get the 4x4 goat and sheep fence, so that way they don't get their head stuck, because that's a big pain in the butt. And then also with goats, if I come out here and want to give some treats to the horses, you got all the goats jumping on you and pushing on you and everything like that. So they all had their pros, they all had their cons. You know, I can take the goats and the goats will go for a walk with me. I can't take the horses because I don't want them to take off, or, I took Love Bug out wherever he went. He's over there. I took Love Bug out and he pushed right through the brush pile, and I chased him for like 30 minutes to get him in. Took a while to get Miracle in, but now Miracle's starting to listen. So the animals all have their pros and cons. It's just what you prefer, and I prefer to have them all. So I have them all, and like I said, they all live together. You saw Caesar a little while ago chasing Girl. So they do get hairs up their butts, but the dogs can be in here. Everybody can be in here. The only thing I don't want in here are the pigs, and that's because if there's a birth or something, back in Colorado, I had the issue of the hogs killing the babies because they're covered in blood, and hogs are known for that. The piglets got out, and trying to catch them, is going to be a pain in the butt, but I'm hoping that there's enough stuff out here where in Colorado they didn't have grubs and stuff like that to munch on. And I'm kind of liking the little piglets out here because they're nosing around, and you can, I don't know if you can really tell, but the grounds, there's holes all over the place throughout here where they're nosing up this ground. They're knocking this rock up and pushing the dirt around. So they're aerating this ground. So when it rains, this rain's not just going to go right off like flat land. It's going to puddle and pool and actually soak into the ground and make a difference. So I do like them for tilling. And I've seen a couple videos on YouTube talking about how you can use pigs for clearing woods and help break up all the bad vegetation, and they're good at getting rid of invasive species. So what I'll probably do is, once I have the 12 paddocks set up, then I'll have the pigs in one, I'll have the animals in one, and then they're both get rotated to a new pen every month. So it'd be a year between the pigs getting back to the original pen. Chubs! That is Dust 9. I don't care if they're messing with you. Leave the birds alone. But that way there's a year for the feces breakdown, any type of worm load to break down. And then see up here, it's mountainous. So you can see, that goes down like that. I don't have just flat land. It's up and down and all around. So when it rains and stuff, things get washed away. So when you have livestock and animals in a barn or a pen and they're confined, then you have all the sickness, you have all the worms. I don't use any type of chemical on my animals unless they start getting real bad. Then I do use ivermectin or LA200, but I don't like to use that unless I have to. And like I said, pumpkins, natural dewormer. I throw natural pine boughs into the animals. That's a natural dewormer. Squash, and the squash seeds are good for them as well. I feed them carrots several times a month, big bags of carrots. Carrots are a natural dewormer. And then out here in Arkansas, I didn't know, but there's two different plants here. There's one that's called wormwood, which is a like weed that is a natural dewormer for the animals as well. And then there's another one that has little leaves on it that my hay lady was saying is a natural dewormer. So between all that and the animals having all this area here, all the way down there, all the way down to the next fence, and then all the way out. You know, this is one big pen, and then you can see where it's cleared all the way out to the brush pile all the way on the other side. They have this all cleared to dirt, which is not good, but it's enough area. You know, they're not stuck in, you know, something like this where the poop just builds up, builds up, builds up, and they're living in it, they're eating off of it. You know, they clean themselves and lick the poo that has the worm eggs and stuff in it. You know, they're able to get out, stretch their legs, and be able to wash things off and go from there. Oh, I didn't even know you can get a wormwood wormer. Yeah, see, my dogs, they eat carrots with me because I snack on carrots at the house. And only thing I give them is the flea and tick medicine pill once a month, because out here we're subtropical and the fleas can get bad out here and the ticks are bad out here. So that's the only thing I do for them. And then they do get a 5-in-1 shot every 2 years, because my vet says that the animals technically don't need them for except every 2 years. A lot of vets do it every year, and my vet's like, you're just wasting money, you're over vaccinating your animals. And then in Arkansas they get their rabies shot every January. So that's all I do on the dogs. And then, like I said, these guys, they don't get any type of chemicals unless they start losing weight or look a little bit sickly. Then if I think it's worms, I do ivermectin. If it's pneumonia or whatever, then they get a little bit of antibiotics. So, but as you can see, like I said, tiny dude right here and his brother baby boy right there, they're original goats from 2016. Jackson, the one that jumped up on my roof, on the house that I built, he's one of the original goats. So a lot of the animals are 6 years old now, and just getting older. So I've got to be doing something right if they've lived 6 years and they're still here. So I only give rabies for my dogs. I won't tell you about the flea and tick wormer. Yeah, I've had a lot of people. I actually have somebody on here, Duke, that was paralyzed or something from one of the brands. Luckily, I'm not giving them the brand they gave. I know there's a risk to it, but I was trying to do the peppermint oils and all that stuff to get rid of fleas when we lived in Marshall, when I was with my ex, and we could not keep the fleas off the dogs and the cats. So that was the only way to get rid of the animal, or get rid of the fleas, the ticks, and all that, was the pill. So I caved to that because I just don't want that issue. They haven't had any issues taking the pills. Luckily, no side effects, anything like that. And like I said, all the animals happy, healthy. They all got big bellies. You can see this is how well the animals are fed. You know, all these pumpkins, and they got their little bites and they're done. Like I said, there's the one thing of hay there, and then I got another one down the road. So they have hay 24/7, they have water 24/7, they have trace minerals 24/7, white salt and baking soda 24/7. And then they get presents like this throughout the months. Sometimes I get bags of apples, sometimes I get bags of carrots. So they get all different treats. So I figured, since I'm out here, give you guys a little bit of time with the animals. I know a lot of people have been wanting more and more animal time, because I haven't done this for a long time, probably since 2020 when I first moved out here, because once I got into that relationship, I tended to not be here. So I'm glad to be back. I know the animals are glad I'm back. And now Chubbs is eating a pumpkin. So they also eat pumpkin seeds too, and pumpkin seeds are natural dewormer. So the dogs snack on them with me. Now Caesar's gonna go mess with him. He's like, you're eating my pumpkin, dog. Chubbs, what are you doing? You running with the pumpkin? He's stuck on that pumpkin. Right, Zara? Yep. What do you think, baby girl? What you think? You beautiful? Yeah. You're a good girl, mamas. So I'm gonna go get the big pigs their pumpkins, because they've been deprived for 42 minutes now that I've been online, not getting pumpkins when everybody else is. So I'm gonna get them fed, get the 5-gallon buckets fed or filled with the sweet feed, bring their sweet feed in. Now of course the sweet feed's probably gonna sit here because they just filled up on pumpkins, but with it being a cooler day, they got extra feed, extra energy to stay warm. And with that, I'm gonna head out, and remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. Have a great day, guys.